Well, regular EV Dad John here. Got an interesting episode for you today. Really glad we can do this. I am at Sunnyvale Volkswagen here in the ever glorious sun that is San Jose. We do get weather, but like maybe 1-2 days of it a year. At least that's how it feels. This is going to be an interesting episode, I have no doubt. I have with me all the ID.4s, not technically all of them, but 4 of them. I have got a Pro S, a Pro S with a gradient package, and of course I bought the Blue Beetle for comparison, my first edition. And I thought what would be great today is to go through all the trim levels, talk about the pricing, so you can get a better idea of what you might like, what might work for you. I want to give a special thanks to Sunnyvale Volkswagen for setting this up, for making the facilities available. It means a huge deal, and I'm sure we'll have more content with them in the future. For now, let's look at the Pro and work our way up, as it were. Though I think we're going to like the Pro a lot. So, we're starting with the Pro, the base model. And I think it's rude to actually call it the base model. I want to talk it as actually having the most value. All the Volkswagen ID.4s have the same battery, certainly here in North America. It's an 82 kilowatt battery pack. The usable amount is actually 77. That 5% is a buffer that extends the life of these. Obviously, because these are sold in California, and this isn't just relevant to California, they have the tightest regulations. That means that 80% of your battery still has to be usable 8 years from now. Otherwise, free replacement. That's what good regulation does for you. When we look at all the other things, folding mirrors, the roof rails, all of this comes as standard. This is what makes it such a fantastic car. In fact, the only thing you're not going to see with this, essentially, the missing element is the powered lift for the hatchback. Let's take a look inside. So it's easier to give you an impression of the vehicle actually from the back seats. Now, I'm 6'4". I'm sitting. In fact, let me show you. I'm sitting behind myself because I moved this car. This is how I was. This is where I was sitting. Lots of room in all of the ID.4s. No difference there. This one has the fabric finish in the seats. I'm going to call it comfortable but hard wearing. I mean, it definitely looks and feels like it could take a kid-inspired beating. There's a really good, it's textured, and I have to say, a lot to like. One thing you don't get because of the, these seats, you don't get the extra little pocket that we get here, but you do get the pocket down here. So I've been keeping this cool by doing the seatbelt cheat. You plug the seatbelt in and then you can run the AC for up to 30 minutes without having to be in the seat. If you want to keep it running continuously, just put some weight or a human being in the driver's seat. It is weight activated. Whilst it won't show up particularly on the video, you just get your standard rubberized pedals down there, nice and secure. That's all you really need. This has the 10-inch display. Now, this is my first time actually seeing this because I've only ever driven the first editions up until now. It is just literally a little bit smaller. It's black trim and surround, just as bright, just as vivid, no loss of quality. Literally, it's just a size issue. I have to say, with the black surround, I'm expressing a personal preference. You have a leather effect, either leather or leather effect steering wheel, all the same controls, common across all of the entire range of vehicles, no difference there whatsoever. And then what you don't get, which you get with the other ones, is the moonroof. So here we just have a standard roof. Now, this might be a deal breaker for some people, but I would say, living in California as I do, with our regular temperatures, I actually think it's good to not have it. I'm actually glad not to have, I'd be happy to not have a moonroof. The number of occasions I can use it and get any value out of it is really, really limited. That said, I still like to have it, and I'm grateful that it was part of the first edition. The minor thing is on the lights. You don't get the same number of controls on the lights, and this doesn't have the light up VW at the front. Everything's a personal preference. I don't like it. I have to say, I actually like the color scheme in here. This gray and black with the silver flourishes. It's understated. It's all high quality materials. I really, really like it. There's no difference in performance either across any of the range. They're all exactly the same. They all have sport mode, eco mode, comfort mode. There's no difference there whatsoever. The difference is entirely down to the trim. Now, this car comes in at $39,000. Well, basically $40,000. But currently, as recording this, you'll still get the $7,500 in federal credits against that, assuming you earn enough. And here in California, you will receive a minimum of additional $3,500, 1,500 points of sale if your dealer is accredited, $2,000 in the mail via the car program. And then in certain regions within California, you can get further money and or contributions from your energy supplier. So you are talking about a sub $30,000 vehicle. That is tremendous, tremendous value. All right, let's go look at the other cars. So one thing that's not immediately visible, although it contributes greatly to visibility and the difference between the Pro and the Pro S, and then the Pro S Gradient as well as the first edition, is the headlights. And so the Pro S has a more conventional LED headlights, specific. So one thing that's not immediately visible, although it is very important for visibility, is that the Pro has LED reflective headlights, whereas the Pro S and the first edition actually come with projection headlights. And these are the ones that actually pivot in corners and adjust. Very, gotta say, huge fan. I live up in the hills. These are awesome. Assuming these are good, these are awesome. In terms of the other key differences in the vehicles, is the Pro has got the illuminated Volkswagen symbol at the front. I will say you're not going to see that today. It literally couldn't be brighter if we tried. Let's look at the inside trim though. I think you're going to like this. If you want a premium finish, this you're going to like. Here we are at the back of the vehicles. John, why are we at the back of the vehicles? Because this is the best way to show you the gradient package, believe it or not. So our non-gradient here, as is, has got the 19-inch wheels. This one has the 20-inch wheels, which I have a preference for. But it also has the blacked out roofing piece. And you can't see it from the front because they do such a fantastic job of the black with the moonroof. You really can't see it until you get to the back, and you'll notice we have white here, and we have the blue with the black trim. And I think it's a lovely design element. It really does just make it switch poppers, not popping. It's one of the things I like about it. And then it also, as a final touch, has the, I think they call it anodized silver trim. The sweep over here, and then the roof rails are in silver as well. Here you'll notice they go with the body black color. Nice design. All right, so here we are inside the regular Pro S, and I think you have to love this trim. This has got the brown, the leather mix is what I'm going to call it, with the brown leather trim, the black, dark, kind of an onyxy, dark gray, black leather effect seats. These are exactly the same as you'll find in the ID.4. You just don't get the ID.4 that's sort of pseudo-stitched, punched into the back of the seats. But again, common to all the vehicles, you know, we've got our USB-Cs. We've got two USB-C chargers here in the back, central for Copilot London, charging even your iPad charge on those road trips. Then you've got the two here in the front, which will deliver Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It has wireless as well, and then you've got your wireless charger in there as well. We have our one minor difference you'll see over here on the lighting panel is this has the poor weather lighting function that you don't get on the Pro. And then I've just opened the roof a little bit so you can see the moonroof, and it does give a certain lightness. You know, the trade-off for that is, you know, your climate and what you really want. I gotta say, you know, this is, you know, the compared to the first edition, I mean, this is a great place. You don't get the fancy anodized pedals, but that's not, you know, my feet honestly don't care. What you'll also have noticed is we have the larger 12-inch screen in here as well. I have to say, I really do like the black. It just blends in that little bit more. I know the first edition was a statement, but I actually just really like that. The one issue this car, well, they all have is this piano black that are surrounding the cup holders, and they are fingerprint magnets. They really are. And here you've got the same material on the armrest and the switches. These are the most minor things. I consider my vehicle to be semi-agricultural, so fingerprints really aren't that big of a deal. Here in the back, we have a continuation of the leather seating. Like I said, very comfortable. This has got optional mats. These are the individual mats. These aren't the all-weather ones that I have in my vehicle, but still good nonetheless. And then you've got your armrest, additional cup holders, and ski pass-through, which is just fantastic. I was using that only yesterday for carrying lumber. Did I mention that it's a semi-agricultural vehicle? Let's take advantage of the powered, so you've got full powered seats as well. The Pro only has manual adjustment, although it does have a pretty, oh, we're locked on that side, pretty big range of adjustment, although it's a manual pump up and down. That's my only criticism. Well, it's not criticism. That's how you pull $7,000 out of a vehicle. Let's look in the trunk, and here we've got, this one's got a roadside assistance kit specified with it as well. These are the mats that come with it as well. And then this has got the cargo protection system. Like it, cargo. So there's magnetic blocks available as well, first aid kit. But if you put the seats down, you've got a level pass-through. You've also got then the extra storage space under here, securing stuff, and then you've got the extra piece down here as well as the granny cable charger, wheel kit, and towing guy, and of course all electric. So let's go straight to the Pro S. I know the air conditioning is switched off because I've been out here too long, but it's not that big a deal. It's exactly the same. There's no difference between the Pro S gradient package and the all the differences are external, the wheels, the trim, and the like. But just, you know, I gotta say, just a lovely, lovely place to be. Let's talk about pricing. So let's talk about pricing, then let's talk about value. And for this, I am going to cheat because I have got my piece of paper with these numbers on it. I can hold on to a certain amount of facts, but numbers, they don't stay with me for long enough. So at the beginning, I should have said that you can order this in all-wheel drive as well. Those deliveries aren't expected to start till much later in the year, and given that, you know, some of them have been anecdotally been delayed, and I assume that's down to the chip shortages and priorities. In terms of the specification, it doesn't change things too much. You will see an additional 100 brake horsepower from the four-wheel drive from that second motor. Conventionally, all of them have 201 brake horse, and that is delivered through the rear, as we like to say, the fun way, and a single-speed automatic transmission. Let's, like I said, let's go to the pricing, and we'll include the all-wheel drive ones in there just because, you know, this video should live for a little while. So starting off with our friend in grey here, the Pro, this one's going to list at $40,000, $39,995 to be precise. And whilst there are a number of options you can buy, you cannot put the gradient package on that. Let's summarize. You're working with cloth seats, a 10-inch screen, the LED, crucially, that keeps the power consumption down, but reflective light technology, manual seats, the 10-inch screen, as I think I already said, but everything else is the same in terms of infotainment functionality, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto functionality, connectivity, all exactly the same, no big issues there at all. And I already said $40,000 for the incentives you can get. You are looking basically, if you're in California, a $27,000 vehicle. And I think just fantastic value. Moving up to the Pro S, our friend here in white. That's going to cost you $45,000 or $44,495 to be precise. That's going to give you the leather trim. Pardon me. By the way, all these prices are subject to a destination charge of $1,200 and local taxes. But this is going to give you the step up with the moonroof, with the bigger screen, the fully electronic seats, and again, great value. Everyone's going to have it. It's a lovely place to be. And I've got 15,000 miles on that trim, essentially myself, and like I said, it's a really comfortable place to be. I really do like it. Stepping up, we then go here to the, so let's add the all-wheel drive version when that becomes available for the Pro S. That will come in at $48,175, no change in trim. For $1,500, you can step up the Pro S to the gradient package. That's got your 20-inch dynamic wheels, the black roof, and the anodized roof rails and silver accents. And then finally, the other one, we don't have the all-wheel drive version of this. I look forward to driving it. And that will come in at $48,175. I already said that in its own way. And then last but not least, because you still might find them, we have the Blue Beetle here, the first edition, which comes in at $43,995. It has got essentially exactly the same trim, except that the steering wheel and some of the internal plastic is in white. And we have the fancy pedals, which have got the anodized pedals with the stop and go symbology, and we have a hitch installed as standard. I want to thank the leadership team here at Sunnyvale Volkswagen for making the vehicles available to me today. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to speak from personal experience here. I've met Steve and worked with Steve on my battery issues and his service department, Rob and the rest of the team. I have nothing but good things to say about them. I'm receiving no funds, no additional resources or incentives for producing this. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. It's a good service team. I didn't buy my car here, but I will say that it will continue to be serviced here. And with that, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We've got some great content coming up in the channel over the next couple of weeks and months, including the podcast that's not a podcast, ID4 Insiders, and a new series as well coming out shortly with some really great guests. Whatever you do, be safe. Have a great day.